Good morning. It's snowing where I live. Y'all, it's almost April and it's snowing, but that's okay. We'll take it. I wanted to kind of explain about this cream makeup and the steps of what you do. So when you get a color match, you're going to get 3 different shades. And sometimes people think, oh gosh, does that mean I'm wearing 3 layers of foundation? We call them highlights. No, you're not. So what happens is I'm going to match your kind of beard area to your neck. You know, sometimes when you see people and their skin on their face shade looks a lot different than the neck, we're going to blend all of that. Then the second color is a little bit lighter, and it's coming right down the sides of your nose, under your nose, and over your forehead, okay? That's a different shade. Then coming down your nose and under your eyes, and I even put it over my eyes because I have sunspots and stuff, so I like to have a clean palette before I apply my eyeshadow, is the 3rd shade. So there's 3 different shades. They're really similar, but they're different. And the reason why we do this is because this will give you that 3D makeup look. You're not one color, traditional foundation, you put one color on, and guess what happens, guys? That liquid foundation turns to powder. You want to know why your skin feels cakey, feels dry, every crease is shown is because it turns to powder and the powder sets in those creases. Also, if you put any investment in your skincare line of what you're putting on your face, you certainly don't want your makeup to absorb that. You want it to go into your skin. So another reason why this cream makeup is what it looks like. You can tell mine is well loved and used. Comes in a palette and it goes on like cream. So let's put some on. You can see that it's all on. Certainly not blended, certainly not pretty, and you're not even using that much. You literally, y'all, I just used, this is an old eyeshadow brush, and I just use it to apply it. Now I'm going to go in with, this is the brush that I like to use, okay? And I'm just going to use like little tiny fleck strokes. I'm not putting any color right here because I'm going to put my contour and bronzer right there. So I don't need any foundation color right there. And if they blend over, that's okay because, I mean, they're not that drastic. They're just subtle changes, but they are changes. So you literally can use the same brush to blend everything. I come down on my neck. I'm 58, and so I have a scar right there from cancer, and I have some sunspots and so forth. So I like to just blend it into my neck. And then you just blend it up into your hairline. Okay, super simple. It's cream, it blends. Very forgiving. And then I'm going to take the other end, and this is the smaller end of the brush, and I'm just gently buffing this out. You can even just tap it and just kind of move it around, and then I'll show you another trick that I do after this. Now I like to take, this is the Seint Perfector sponge, and I'm not pulling a whole lot around my eyes, so what I'm doing is I'm just tapping this sponge right over it to mute out and blend these colors. Some people like to get the sponge wet. You certainly can do that, especially like in the summer if you want a lighter finish. You don't want anything super heavy on your skin, which, by the way, y'all, I'm from Texas. I have worn this makeup in August in Texas where I sweat like a hog and my makeup didn't fall off. Not that it was super heavy, it just stays put. Okay, so now everything is blended. Now, hello. Now we're going to do contour. Contour is this darker shade. The texture of this contour is going to be different than the rest of the creams. It's a little more dense. And so the reason why contour is important is because it actually gives you the shape. So now that you've put a foundation color on, you actually, you don't have any definition. So I like to you can either come under your cheekbone or you can come right on top of it. But the idea is you're bringing things up, okay? Up. It's like a facelift, but it's going to give you that contour. Kind of make sure that they're even. And then I'm going to come around to my hairline. Just, it's not pretty how I put it on. It's just slapping some color on, y'all. Come like this. And then I'm going to go down just a little bit on the sides of my nose, I don't try to go too crazy on the contour of my nose, right on the tip. Whatever's left over, I'm going to create a little more of a jawline. Okay, now it's all about blending. Different brush. These bristles are really tight and they're designed for these cream makeup. So I actually really like to use their brushes to blend these creams because it does matter. If you used a fluffy brush like this and you're trying to keep that contour color right there, it's going to be too fluffy and it's going to go everywhere. So these brushes actually give you the control that you want. Because they're cream, they blend really easy versus a powder, okay? So all I'm doing is the same principle as I'm stabbing and flicking, okay? I'm not doing this motion. I can do that a little bit more up around my hairline, but again, I'm pushing everything up into the hairline, okay? Sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, I have too much of my hair. You can just wipe it off, it's no big deal. Okay, so now you're just kind of giving a little bit of depth and shadow to your face because we're defining what Jesus gave you. Come down, don't forget your nose. I've done that before out in public, like, oops. Okay, contour's on. Now is bronzer. Bronzer is a little bit of a lighter color. This is kind of like your sunshine. I'm using just a different old eyeshadow brush. Now for the bronzer, I'm just kind of coming right on top of that cheekbone, kind of making a C. Okay, nothing major here. If you wanted to be done with this step and not do lip and cheek, not do a cheek color, you certainly can. Now I like to use, this is the powder brush. No, it's the blush and bronzer brush, sorry. This is the small end, see how it's fluffier? So I like to use this one because I don't mind that if that color travels. I've already got that definition from the contour, so I don't really care if this one kind of goes a little bit more because this is kind of like where the sunshine would get you, okay? Look how simple, y'all. This is like blending, painting by numbers, blending it out. To go. So you still have definition. Remember, we didn't put any highlights right here because we don't need to. We don't need to add any more because we're doing the contour and the bronzer. Now, okay, I wanted to show you something. Now, if you see this color, this is Tiger Lily. It's really bright. And you may be like, hell no, that's not coming on my face. But let me show you what happens. So these are creams as well. So they come in 3 different textures, okay? So it appears kind of bright, but here's the beauty of it. You just need a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm just putting that actually right there, just on the apple. I'm not going to bring it all the way up. I already have color there, but right in here is where I'm just placing it. I'm going to take that same brush that I used to blend bronzer with, and I'm just blending it out. This is just kind of giving me just a little bit of color, but not too much. See how it just kind of complements the rest of the bronzer in with that. Pretty simple. Now that you have your highlights, your foundation, your contour, your bronzer, and your cheek, you're going to want to set your makeup. So I always set mine with powder, and then if I want to set it with spray afterwards, I can. I'm watching the snow. Y'all, the snowflakes are like the size of quarters. So I just use a loose powder. And then I'm going to use the big end of the blush and bronzer brush. And I only use this big end for this powder. I don't want to mix my brush that I use creams with powder because it'll make your cream crusty. Okay, so I'm just pressing it all over. This will kind of give you, if you like a matte finish, this is what I do. I work in TV. We're not allowed to have shiny faces. And so I'm just pressing this. I'm going right over my eyebrows, all over my eyelids, down my neck, and you're just setting your color. Okay, moving on. This is just the steps that I use when I apply makeup, but certainly, y'all, there's no right or wrong. This is just, you get into a habit and what you're comfortable with. And I always have to put a liner on because if I just threw on a lip color, it's not going to look that color on my lips. My lips have too weird of a shade in there naturally. So I kind of have to just cheat it. And then I'm just going to take a brush and I'm blending the line. No 90s lip line happening today. Okay, so I know that that looks like, well, you just did your lips. You just have a color on there, but I never just leave it like that. So this is Tiger Lily. This is what we put on the cheek, but let me show you what happens. Now, the thing about lips is you can just build and kind of, you can just make them however you want. It doesn't have to just be one shade. Okay, so again, it's pretty bright, and I'm just going to tap. Okay, so it just added a little bit of brightness, but I'm not going to stop there. Why would I stop there? Let me find the other color I want to use. Because I want a little more of a glossier, kind of just a little bit, and maybe a little shimmer. Can you see the light in this? This is called Sunshine State. So it's in the peach, but it still has a pink undertone with kind of a gold sparkle in it. So I'm just going to use this. It's really creamy and come right over the top of it. Okay, so that's my finished look. I'm wearing orange today, so I'm kind of staying in that family. This is the eyeshadow brush. All the Seint brushes have double ends, and I wanted to show you how to work with colors that look like they're really intense. This is Tangerine, okay, and yeah, Tangerine. And so I'm just going to take this small end, and I'm going to place it just right on that brow bone, starting in the center, pressing it in a little bit, not coming all the way in, just a little bit, and I'm going to stop right at the edge. I'm not going to bring it out. And then I'm going to kind of draw a little line coming up to it. And then I'm going to drag it underneath my lashes just about to the middle. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just pressing it and kind of windshield wiper, blending it back and forth. Again, I'm not extending past the eyebrow arch area. And I'm not going to take it all the way up to the eyebrow itself. I want it just in that crease because I want to keep the brow bone highlighted. I didn't feel that y'all wanted to watch me put on mascara, but I already put that on. And now we're just going to talk about lashes. So Duo is the glue that I use. You can get it like at Ulta. I think you can get it at Walmart. And I like to use the black. Comes in white and it comes in clear. The white dries clear, but it takes a long time, and it just, especially since I'm shooting these videos, it just looks weird. So I go ahead and use the dark. And then I just use regular tweezers. Okay, nothing special about those. They're just tweezers. They're not for eyelashes. And then I use the Lilac Street lash clumps. They're lash clusters. The style that I'm using today is Hollywood, and it's a 16 millimeter. So what I do is I'm just going to grab a cluster like that with my tweezers, and then the Duo glue I just put on a little pot thingy here, and I'm just tapping the band. See the gray part? That's just tapped it right in there. And then I'm going to start with my outer corner, and I'm going to place those lashes. Whoops! I'm going to place those lashes right on top. Now, Lilac Street advertises theirs. Their glue is it looks like a mascara. So you put that on, and then they want you to put the lash underneath your own lashes, and then you use their little tool and you clamp them on there. That's fine. That's great. I've done it before. I like to take my lashes off. And their lashes are meant to be like a lash extension for 7 to 10 days. But I want to take mine off, which is why I use the Duo glue. And then I just come in right next to it. Now see how this one kind of went up too high? It's okay. I'm just going to take my hand, and I'm just going to kind of push them into place where I want them. Okay? Then you take another one. Again, just a little cluster. Oops, forgot where my glue is. You don't have to put a ton on there. Okay, and again, you can just push them into place. I do reuse my lashes. I take them off every night, and they'll look like this. And then I just take the end of it. I'm going to hold it by the top of the lashes. I'm just going to pinch the glue off, and then I reuse them. I do also shampoo them. Lilac Street makes a lash shampoo that I just soak these little babies in. So I clean them. They're not gross. Okay, follow that in. It's important that you get them right on your lash line, because if you don't, then you're going to have, like when you blink, and I've been guilty of this, y'all can call me out, you'll have a weird line that goes like, you know, because it's not flush. Okay, last one in. You kind of have to gauge that inner lash, because you don't want a really long eyelash coming into the center of your nose. It's going to tickle and feel weird. So either you can cut it or use a different one that's going to be a little bit shorter. Okay, I'll do the other eye. And there you have it. That's the face, that's the day, that's the simplicity. Again, cream makeup, y'all. I'm not kidding you, it's the best stuff I've ever used. All I want to do is get it on your face, because I know you're going to love it too. I really do. Especially for those of you in the club like me, the 58 or over 50 club. It's just really, really, really good for your skin, and it goes on really well. Nothing too complicated on the eyes. As far as the lashes, you know, sometimes I get people like, why do you wear them every day? You know, I don't know if it has to do with when I had chemo, I didn't have any lashes. And that was really hard. It was really hard. So now I just feel like it's Christmas, like, yay, I've got some lashes. I don't know, just my preference, but you don't have to. So admit that part. If you see me do lashes and you're like, fast forward, skip that part. You don't have to do it. If you'd like to work with me, I'd love to work with you. Just reach out to me here and we could do a color match and get you started. Have a fun Monday, everybody. Bye.